Am I the asshole for arguing that you cannot save a spot on a grocery checkout line? Today at a crowded Whole Foods, a man was saving a spot on the checkout line, while his wife and daughter continued to shop. I had already put all of my items on the belt and they still weren't there. I initially had no idea what he was doing and assumed he was with the person in front of me. His family then came with a cart full of groceries insisting to go ahead of me, after all of my groceries were already loaded on. We argued back and forth. He actually attempted to push my groceries backwards and I asked him not to touch my food. Instead of letting me go first, they insisted on giving the cashier each item one by one. They continued to tell me I was wrong for putting my stuff down when I saw he was saving a spot. Who saves a spot on a checkout line with no groceries or cart? It would be one thing if his wife forgot an item and ran back to get it. This was not the case. NTA. Some dude standing around with no groceries, watching you load your groceries on the belt, silently? Baffling. Even if we want to argue that you can save a spot in a line at the grocery store, this is not a way to do that. What on earth was the cashier doing while this was going on? I'd be just as upset at the cashier for serving him as he cuts in front, tries to push another customer away, and hands them items one by one. I'd just look straight at him and say, "Sir, there's a line," and start checking out op. Some people are going to be exactly as sasshole as society in general lets them get away with. As op, I'd have left all my groceries on the belt and walked away to find a manager. Not the asshole. Waiting in line and letting them join up with him is fine. Until he reaches the belt. By then they should have joined him or he has to step out of the line. The fact that you even had your stuff on the belt and they still pulled this is absurd. The least they could have done was to take the spot after you. I'm surprised neither staff nor other people in line backed you up. Just put all your groceries on the conveyor belt and if the cashier makes you wait until his wife comes back, just walk out. Let the cashier explain to a manager why there's so many things to restock. Too many grocery store options to put up with crap like that. If it happens again, ask the cashier to call a supervisor. That is totally not allowed. Not the asshole. That guy was in a dollar and the cashier was wrong to let them go ahead of you, though they probably didn't want to deal with the entitlement. You can save a place in line, but if your people aren't there, you let folks go ahead of you. Not the asshole. Am I the asshole for refusing to let my father officiate my wedding? My father has been a reverend for 30 years. He and my mother are still married and they have 2 children, my sister and I. Neither my sister or I have good relationships with my parents. They weren't downright physically abusive, but both of them are definitely narcissists and some things they did left deep psychological scars that I still deal with to this day. It has always been a running joke for my parents that my dad would perform our wedding ceremonies and christen our children. This was sought for my sister's wedding and the birth of her child. This, however, is not something that I want. I can't have my father preach to me and my husband to be about love when he has rarely shown it to me throughout my childhood. So a few weeks ago, my fiancé and I were having dinner with them and we were discussing our plans for the future. My dad said something along the lines of, "I wonder what message I should give at your ceremony," and I shot him down immediately, saying that I did not want him to perform the ceremony. He got mad and asked me to explain myself, almost like I had told him I had just killed someone. I told him that I still wanted him to walk me down the aisle, which made him blow up even more. I finally said that he could choose between being my father or being my pastor. That was the end of the conversation and the end of dinner. Now he's demanding I apologize, because it's his right as my father to perform the ceremony. He's threatening not to pay for my wedding, and he's saying that if he doesn't perform the ceremony, he and my mother won't be attending. I am considering cutting all contact and eloping, but I'm scared that I would miss them when the big day comes. Am I the asshole? Edit. Someone asked me, and we have had this discussion before dinner. It was a part of a larger discussion we had after my sister's wedding, where she said that he had basically forced her into him performing the ceremony, threatening to cut her off and not pay for the wedding. This is his go-to. Second edit, sorry, I am bad at this. I am not planning on asking him to pay for the wedding. My fiancé and I both want a small wedding and have seriously discussed eloping before this happened. So he is down with running away and just letting them know after. Not the asshole, but don't take a dime from them. Pay for the wedding you can afford. And if that means eloping at the courthouse, so be it. Not the asshole. He blew up because the fact that he has no authority over you anymore smacked him right in the face, from what he thinks is out of left field. He wasn't prepared for it. And now he's trying to use paying for your wedding to manipulate you into giving him back that authority. Moments like this are where we learn the difference between selfishness and self-preservation. You have to decide what makes your life work. If you let him win this argument, he will likely try it again on you if you have children, and he may try it on his grandchildren. Only you can decide what is most important to you. I honestly don't think you can be judged the asshole whichever way you choose, as long as you're being true to yourself. Sounds like on top of being a shitty father he's a shitty pastor. Not the asshole. You father has a right to dig diddly. Him insisting on you complying is sad and speaks volumes to his need to control everything. Fuck apologizing to him. It's not your job to soothe his anger. You didn't really want money from them, did you? Please tell me you are grown up enough to pay for your own wedding, and not expect anything from them. Get some therapy and learn how to finally cut the apron strings from your parents. You'll be so much happier. Edit. Not the asshole, unless you expect them to pay for it after telling them you don't need their help officiating. Second edit. How does your fiancé feel about eloping? Doesn't he deserve his big day, too? Don't alienate your husband to be trying to get back at your parents. Not the asshole. It's his right as my father to perform the ceremony. Lol, says fucking underscore who underscore. I was in a similar position but without the complicated relationship. I told my dad I really needed him to be fully present in his father of the bride role and compromised by asking him to say a prayer during the service. Knew it would be an emotional day for all of us. Didn't want the extra burden for him. Wanted to have a pastor that could be unbiased for our pre-marriage counseling, yada yada. Hopefully yours will come around because it's totally reasonable to want the dad-pastor role to be separate. Am I the asshole? I ate pizza a coworker bought for everyone, but didn't pay her for it. I work as a nurse at a hospital. Recently a coworker bought pizza for everyone to celebrate a nursing student's last day. He had been with us for the past few months. She sent out a message letting the team know that pizza was available in the break room. I ate 2 slices. Later on, another coworker messaged the group stating that she had spent $140 on the pizza and asked everyone who ate to Venmo her $8. I chose not to send money because I hadn't been informed beforehand that there would be a cost associated with it. If I had known, I might have declined to eat any. Also, she tends to go a bit over the top with these things and had already done something similar the previous week. It didn't feel like a group-agreed expense, so I didn't feel obligated to contribute. To be fair, it did cross my mind at one point that I should offer to chip in. I usually do in situations like this. But I'll admit, I'm also not the biggest fan of hers, and I think that played a role in my reluctance. Does that make me the asshole? If it were someone else, would you chip in? Is this more about you disliking the person involved? I don't know if that makes you an asshole, but it sounds like some pettiness going around that unit. Just pay the $8 and don't eat the food the coworker brings next time. Gotta admit, I was ready to say you were the asshole, but you're right. Why wouldn't she send out a, hey gonna get pizza to celebrate? Can people chip in $8 beforehand? That said, given it's $8, I might go ahead and send it to her with a message saying it would be a lot more appropriate to ask this ahead of time. Not the asshole. LMAO, imagine being petty over $8 for pizza that you not only ate, but admitted was fire. You are the asshole. You knew she had done something similar before and still thought you could take advantage of the situation. On her part, I don't think she did anything wrong. It sounds like it's just an honesty system and she isn't pressuring anyone to pay her. Sounds pretty generous to me actually. People who say, go eat the food, are saying it's free. People who say that and then ask for money deserve to not have people pay. Not the asshole. Am I the asshole for sending my sister to live with our parents? I, 21F, have been living with my younger sister Layla, 19F for about a year now. Our parents are in another city and she wanted to stay here with me. I own the house. It's a somewhat small town house with 3 bedrooms. One my boyfriend and I share, hers, and a spare room. A week ago my boyfriend and I went on a short vacation while we had time off of work. Our office was being fixed up due to severe water damage from floods. And it was an amazing time. When we got home a few days ago, the entire house was destroyed. Beer bottles everywhere. Legal age for drinking is 18 here. Couch was torn to shreds and shattered glass all over the floor. I asked her what the hell happened and she claimed she had a small get-together. I told her she needs to clean everything up and pay for the couch, and that I don't want her living with me again until I can see a solid change in her attitude and respect for my house. She started crying and begging for me to give her another chance, but I told her I'm done. She asked how she was supposed to pay for the couch without a job and I told her to find a way. After she cleaned up everything she locked herself in her room and didn't come out for a few hours. This isn't the first time she's done this. She did a similar thing a few months prior but not to this extent. I figured I'd let it slide since it wasn't too bad to clean, but told her if it happens again she'll need to find somewhere else to live because she can't keep having parties here. I called my parents and told them everything, and they said that she could live with them while she looks for a job and place of her own. I let her know that she needs to leave because I can't trust her anymore and she started screaming at me. My boyfriend eventually had to step in and tell her she needs to leave or he'd call the police, and that got her to calm down and start packing. Eventually she had a bag packed with basic necessities and I told her I'd box all her stuff and drive it up to our parents for her. She hasn't spoken to me since, but her friends have come to my house to tell me that I'm an awful sister for not letting her have fun. I understand that she's an adult and can have fun, but she can do that while being respectful of other people's properties and belongings. Too long did not read. Am I the asshole for kicking my sister out because she trashed my house for the second time while I was away? Edit. Yes, I have a house at 21. Yes, I bought it at 20. I've been saving up with double jobs since I was 14. I bought it with my own money, and I'm still paying it off. How is that shocking for some of you to comprehend? Not the asshole, she disrespected your property and boundaries. She isn't a child. She is an adult. Why doesn't she have a job at 19? I'm assuming it's because she is in school? She needs to decide if she wants to have these mini ragers or be a responsible adult. If she did this at any other place she was renting, she'd be out on her ass. Sounds like your parents have your side. Her friends are immature asshole too. They were most likely there destroying your home as well, so why would their opinions matter? Not the asshole, it's your home and you were kind to let her live there. It's bare minimum that she should treat your home respectfully and respect your boundaries. Anywhere she went she would have to replace what she damaged. A hotel would charge, a landlord would charge. She doesn't get a free pass because it's inconvenient. Her friends are not really her friends because they trashed where she lives. They are mad they can't have fun and trash the place she lived, that you own. Once is a mistake, twice is deliberate. She's just mad that she got called out. Obvious, not the asshole, not sure why you needed to ask. You're concerned because her friends are calling you a bad sister? As in, I can only assume, the same people who helped her destroy your house. If you hear anything further from them, just tell them what they owe you for the couch. Not the asshole. Your house, your rules, and she's an adult, who can deal with those adult consequences. Pack her up and drop her at her friend's house. Or better yet, invoice those friends for the damages to your property. What these so-called friends were saying: you're mean for taking our party house away. Oh, and go through your jewelry and clothes, $10 says something is missing. She already knows she has to leave. Her performance is merely a Hail Mary to save her sweet deal. Don't let her back ever.